Hey guys, this episode of Dudes and Brews is sponsored by Perfect Works. If you love craft beer on the go, their U-Keg pressurized growler is a game changer. It's perfect for taking your favorite brew anywhere, whether you're heading to a picnic, camping, or just hanging out with friends. The double wall, vacuum insulated stainless steel keeps your beer cold all day, and it's super easy to pour. Ready to elevate your camping experience? Head over to U-Keg's website at perfectworks.com. That's the word perfect works, WERKS.com, and grab yours today. Trust me, once you try it, you won't want to go camping without it. Cheers.
Warning, this podcast, website, and associated social media accounts are intended for audiences of legal drinking age. We do not advocate overconsumption or the abuse of alcohol. Never drink and drive, drink responsibly. And please remember to always take what we say with a grain of salt. After all, we are just some dudes with some brews.
We started out by crawling out from under the thumb of the man. The lovers of God with dad bods just trying to feed our fam. Go sit right there and grab a beer, you know just what to do. Throw it back, get hammered, and listen to Dudes and Brews. Yeah, we're all good. We're Gucci fam.
So I just started thinking that my butt felt weird, and it's because I put a koozie in my back pocket.
Koozie?
Yeah.
Oh, so I have to ask you this. So anywhere you go, you like to have a koozie. Are you a koozie proponent as well?
Honestly, like Renee always has the koozies, and I never think about having a koozie.
If we're doing outdoor drinking, I think
Yeah.
a koozie is an essential element of outdoor drinking.
Really? I don't think
I don't think it's important indoors. I don't even think about it indoors. I never want one indoors. It's an outdoor thing.
Yeah.
Why?
So I always,
Why so though?
Because if we're outside, our beer is going to sweat faster, and I don't like the way it feels in my hand, probably.
That makes sense. Okay.
Right?
I thought you were worried about the beer getting hot. And I'm like, the beer's
No.
never hot. I drink it fast enough that it doesn't get hot. Like, come on.
My first beer could get hot on a hot summer day easily,
Okay.
but not my fourth, because by then
Sure.
I'm drinking fast.
Sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
But the
that's how it
first beer
goes.
could get hot.
Yeah.
But I like the koozie because of sweat on a can, and I'm prone to drop on accident.
I gotcha.
Yeah, with my arthritis, and so a koozie is like soft, and it won't let your hand slip either, so you don't slip and drop a can.
That makes sense. I never would have thought that. I always thought it was to keep the beer cold.
Well, I'm sure it helps.
But it's also the convenience of not having a glass to pour it in, which I like to have a glass to pour my beer into.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
But,
Anna
like, yeah.
uses cans, and if I drink without Anna, I seldom put my beer in a glass.
Oh, really?
I don't even think about it.
Anytime I'm at home, beer's in a glass.
In the glass, always.
Always.
Yeah, always.
I never think about it.
Even at home, you just drink it out of the can.
Well, I don't drink at home alone really ever.
Oh, okay. I drink when I watch sports.
Yeah, I drink with other people.
When football's on, regardless if it's American or not, there's got to be a beer in my hand.
I only drink with other people, and if Anna's there, we'll use glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I ask, can I get a glass?
Oh, I
Always,
see what you're
always,
saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I'm drinking with other people and nobody says anything about a glass, I don't think about it.
Oh, really? Like, even at my brother's house, he has one beer glass, and it's only for me. So when I come over on Sundays to watch football,
Oh,
I've got a
that's so
glass
sweet. Yeah,
that I can
Well,
pour it into. So
I understand because, like I said, I don't think about glasses.
Yeah, I like
they
to
don't
look at
even
it.
cross my mind.
Really?
But if I'm outside, koozie is the first thing I
koozie
think of.
crosses your mind.
First,
Okay.
immediately.
Sweet.
Yeah, but Anna thinks about a glass,
Glass, yeah.
as soon as she opens a beer inside.
Yeah.
And you like the glass because you like to look at it.
But also, no, it's not even that. It's like when you pour the beer from the can to the glass, a lot of the gases are getting released, and so you're not going to burp as much.
So have you seen this thing going around on the internet
No.
about
What
pouring your beer?
You've been pouring beer the wrong way. I'm going to show you how to pour beer the right way. So this is how I used to pour beer, and a majority of people to this day do pour beer. They pour it down the side, and they slowly let it fill up, so that way it doesn't foam at all, and it pours what looks like a perfect beer. And you're like, oh yeah, that's awesome. I don't have to deal with any foam. No worries. This is how I did it too, but it's wrong. I'm telling you it's wrong. This is really how you're supposed to pour beer. And I'm going to explain why in a second. Let's let it foam up a little. You got to let it settle. Now let me show you why you want to pour it this way. This is what's happening to your stomach when you pour it like that. So obviously, you're going to feel bloated after. You're not going to be able to drink as many beers. Look at when I do this. No foam over. Same amount of stirring pressure. I'm even doing more stirring. You'll feel way better drinking these beers all day over the...
You haven't seen this? Okay, so apparently there's this discussion about the way that you should
the right
pour
way
your
to pour a beer.
There is either A, you pour it slowly, like what you were referring to.
Tilt and
Yeah,
pour.
you always tilt it. Yeah.
You pour it aggressive. Really aggressive, so like you get like
Well,
a
with
lot
Guinness,
of foam.
you're supposed to.
No, but what they say, what I've heard is cool. A lot of the CO2 dissipates so that you don't get bloated as easily. But I also go, am I drinking a flat beer at that point?
Right?
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
There's been a
support that
test.
at
Like the test was like they put like a paper towel and go, this is what your stomach does. And then they go, it over foamed the one that they just barely tilted. But the other one they go, look, it doesn't foam at all because all the foam is already gone. All the CO2's
I don't think
gone.
that's a viable
all. It sounds like TikTok
test.
science.
Yeah, like that's not.
That's all
I
I
don't
gotta
I'm
say
just
about
saying,
that.
I've never tested it. I think we need to
TikTok
test
science is fascinating.
Oh, as a scientist, I'm sure that you put your nose down at those individuals. But
yeah, right. Like, oh, you used a paper towel.
Right.
It's not
Well, I
even
mean, this
close
is
to
just
hydrochloric acid. Let's be honest. Like, what's in your stomach is hydrochloric acid,
Right.
And it's also like this different kind of membrane. So if we want to go to a butcher and grab some pig lungs and then put some hydrochloric acid in there and then pour our beers and then throw them
see what
inside,
happens.
see
The
what inside.
gut,
Let's
yeah.
do some real
Right.
science.
Yeah.
We can still do it at home.
sure.
But like, let's not use a paper towel and a cup and some shit. And be like science. You're not doing science.
I'll have to show it to you guys after the show. But I do want to say thank you guys for coming on and
Yeah, 100.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You are the inaugural gals
I
on
know.
Dudes and Brews, so thank you.
Yeah. The feminist in me is kind of like dudes and brews.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna call this one Gals and Ales.
Oh, nice. That'll be a nice name.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys did a lot of traveling this summer, specifically together. Oddly enough, do you guys
Yeah.
always plan to do stuff together in the summertime, or does it just happen to?
No, I mean we've traveled before this summer, but like we drink a lot together and have amazing ideas,
Oh, nice.
and that's when like it's like let's do this next year, and like
I think since we found each other,
Yeah.
we started making more effort to travel together.
Yeah.
I always had a posse of travel girls. And when we started hanging out with Anna a lot, I had declared, like, we've got to take Anna on a short trip to see if she can travel with us.
that's important.
like
it's
like
very
a test.
Yes, but it
Absolutely.
you want to
We
make
did a
sure
travel
that,
trip.
that everyone is going to get along.
Sure.
Because if you're stuck in a different country, like you can't just be like
Yeah.
bail out. Like you have to be able
Yeah.
to mesh together. Yeah.
So I think our first trip is we went to Fort Worth and we did an overnight stay at a hotel and we went to breweries all the way there.
Oh, yeah.
So we stopped. Where all did we stop on that trip?
We went to
Martin House for sure. But we
No,
stopped.
we went to Bear.
Like-
Was it in Frisco?
Yeah.
Union Bear.
Union
Bear.
Union
And then
Bear
we
in
went to
Frisco.
Hop and Sting.
Hop and Sting. Oh, that was so great. That
yeah.
we fell in love with some beer there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
then-
went to the one in Shannon Brewing. Shannon. We went
Shannon's
to
over there.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
in
Mount
Fort
Martin
Worth-
House, right?
I don't think we did Martin.
didn't do
no,
Martin
No,
House,
we went
no.
to the other one in Fort Worth.
Go to like Raw and Son or
no,
like
in Fort Worth,
Hop
downtown-
Fusion.
Oh, in downtown Fort Worth, we did
Cowtown.
Cowtown. We went to Cowtown.
Cowtown. We walked
good.
there from
Yeah.
our hotel.
Yeah, we walked to
Yeah, so
Cowtown.
we drank at like 3 places. We parked the car at a hotel, and then we walked everywhere else we went or Ubered.
Love it.
And it was just, I think Andrea and
It was me, you
just
and
the three
Andrea,
of
yeah,
us.
yeah.
We had a great trip, and then we took Anna on a longer trip for the second test.
That was
And we
a year later.
the
same later that year.
We went to Baton
Louisiana.
Rouge and New Orleans, and then we went to Chafalaya, Natchitoches, something.
yeah.
One of those.
Oh,
crazy,
cool.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. And we drank everywhere we went there.
Yeah.
And we had
And-
Heidi with us this
Yes,
time.
and we brought
It
on
was a
Heidi
tri-
because
4
she's
people now.
the quad travel crew.
Yeah.
And then we planned our trip to Uganda.
Uganda.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
that's right. You guys
Anna
went to
sent me,
Uganda last
she
year, right?
sent me
Yeah.
this crazy video of people birding in the swamps, and she was like, "Look what people do in Uganda." And in the video, there is like this clip of the shoebill stork, and he looks like a Muppet, just so you know. So I don't know if you've ever seen a shoebill stork, but if you look at him up close, he definitely looks like
a dinosaur.
a dinosaur, a Jim Henson Muppet, and also like his eyes shut sideways.
Yeah.
So he does like these sideways
Pretty
eye
terrifying.
shutting.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
This
very
thing looks
fierce.
Yeah.
gnarly.
Yes. Yeah.
This looks gnarly.
Yes.
You're
Wait.
right when you say dinosaur. Like
Yeah.
what?
Dinosaur Muppet. And when he makes his call, it sounds like a machine gun,
like
which is really cool because he clamps that beak and it makes a
Okay.
machine gun
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
He's about 4 foot tall and his wingspan is 8 to 10 feet wide.
That's wild.
Yeah, so he's huge. He's an extremely rare bird and he's only in a very small domain because he eats the special fish.
Yeah.
What was that fish called? It's one of the clans.
It's a clan name. I will. It's
Yeah.
It's not a mamba. Is it a mamba?
No, it's a fish. It's
Mamba is a type of fish also, but I don't know.
I thought that was a snake.
No, mamba.
Huh, irrelevant.
Yeah, but
But it was like I think it starts with an S. Is that possible? Maybe. Who knows? But the fish looks like an eel, kind of.
Yeah, that's what this guy's eating right here. You just can't see it.
Yeah, lungfish.
So it's
it's what he's
a
eating right
lungfish.
here.
It's a
That's what it
lungfish,
is.
yeah.
So
But I
he
don't know
eats
the name
the
in Uganda.
lungfish,
Yeah.
and so that's why he was in this swamp. And I saw the video, and I said, Anna, we have to go. And she said, okay, when? And I sent a message to the girls, and I said, we're going to Uganda for spring break. Period, no exceptions.
Love that.
And then we planned it.
Yeah.
And we did it.
Yeah.
And it was one of the greatest trips of my whole life. It was so amazing.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. The first thing that comes up, are these only in Uganda?
Very, very
and
small domain.
They're endangered. So like the fact that we saw the one that we did, we were really lucky.
Because we did that swamp tour.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So as a kid, being from Uganda, did you see these all the time, or were you like
no.
not even aware
So
this was
the
a
funny
thing?
thing is, like when Vernon first, my husband, when he first came to Uganda to visit, he was like, "Oh, I want to go to the swamps," and we're like, "Never heard of them. I don't know what you're talking about."
Sure.
Like, as somebody who lives there, we don't do the touristy things.
Yeah.
So why would we
Sure.
go to a
I get
swamp
that.
and find a bird?
Sure.
Yeah.
I did see them in a zoo, but that doesn't count.
Right. No, I would agree
Not
with
to
that.
a
Yeah.
birder.
Yeah.
Right. No, I would agree with that. You wouldn't check that off your list, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had seen one in a zoo, but it was like,
Oh,
it
cool.
was sad in the zoo, like probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's
rescued
got a
from
10-foot
somewhere.
wingspan.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
He wasn't
being
happy.
trapped
He
in a
wasn't
cage?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
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 But this year, you guys did a couple of things. You went to Europe, and you also went to the Midwest, specifically where in Illinois? North? I want to say southwest.
So we took this massive trip because Texas is hot in the summer, and we wanted
Sure.
to
Escape the heat.
just escape the heat. And our friend Oliver
It's like snowbirding.
has property in Michigan, so we knew an endpoint was Michigan.
Uh-huh.
But we also, I have grandparents that are still alive, and because of that, they can't drive to Texas.
Sure.
And so
Sure, the
I've been
age,
taking
yeah.
them one friend at a time each time I
Oh,
go
cool.
north. And so we had declared that Anna was the next one that was going to go north and meet the grandparents.
Sweet.
So we took this weird path to get to Michigan only because we had to stop and see Grandma along
Sure.
the way.
Sure.
Which took us through Jefferson, Missouri. It took us through Burlington, Iowa. It took us to Grandma's house, which is Stronghurst, Illinois, in western Illinois on the Mississippi River, close to. It's a small town of 850 people, so it's
Oh, love
not
it.
big. It's a
Tiny.
It's
village.
about where I grew
Yeah.
up. Nice.
Yeah, it's a little village.
What we call a one-horse town in
yeah,
Texas.
most
Yeah.
assuredly. And I think there's a couple four-way stops, but I'm not sure how many.
Okay.
But there's no.
It was
I
tiny. Like the
I
town
don't
was
think
like
there was any stoplights. Do you?
You drove me around the town, and it was
Yeah.
it took about 3 minutes. And
Yeah.
I was
Sure.
like, okay, yeah, let's go.
And in Illinois, they really value the soybean and corn
Oh,
fields,
gosh.
and so
Oh,
the
yeah.
towns are really tight. Like they're tight and on a grid,
And then there's cornfields in between.
and then there's corn
Yeah,
on
so
the
like-
outside. So that town is not allowed to be a sprawl. So you know how
I
some
see what you're
places
saying,
where
yeah.
people have these big yards and they're allowed to be like meandering.
Sure.
No, we don't do that because the cropland is too important.
Cropland. Okay.
no,
And
seriously.
so the
like-
towns are these compressed little squares. They're like always.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And while y'all were out there, y'all stopped and grabbed beer. That's why you stopped at
course.
certain places,
Oh,
right?
gosh, yeah.
And you
Every
brought some
single
today.
state. Yep.
What'd
absolutely.
you bring?
We have options. Let's see. What is that? This is
Did you bring your glasses? No.
no.
Oh,
So
no.
so this was on our way home. So we'll stop there. But
What is this one?
so we bought beer in Iowa and we drank most of that in Michigan. So sorry guys.
Put
We-
this on your
we
can
didn't-
so you don't
yeah.
feel the weirdness.
So we didn't feel weird. We're gonna pour it though, so it's
I
gonna be
know,
okay.
but I don't want you to feel weird.
But then in Illinois, we stopped at a brewery. We stopped at a brewery pretty much every day on this road trip.
Oh, cool.
And we bought beer from breweries, and we also bought beer at Hy-Vee is a grocery store chain up in the
Yeah,
Midwest.
we've got them in Nebraska. I say that as if I live there.
Yeah.
I'm very
I
familiar.
love the fact that they have
Yeah.
a section you just walk in just to buy beer.
It's like
And
a
it's
liquor
just
store.
craft beer.
Yeah.
It's just craft
Yeah.
beer from
It
the
was
local
amazing.
region, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
so
like it
that's
has
lot of
a
fun.
built-on liquor store.
Yeah,
I freaking
exactly.
love it.
with a separate
its own
door.
liquor
Like,
store.
you don't have to go through like
Yes.
separate
It's
door.
so
I
great.
love
It's
this.
so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I took Anna to Hy-Vee, and we went to Hy-Vee in 3 states.
Yeah, Hy-Vee's my jam.
We went to Iowa first.
Yeah, so we went to Iowa, Hy-Vee.
For sure.
We went
Illinois.
to Illinois, and then
maybe
Missouri.
Missouri.
It was a actual liquor store gas station.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's
okay.
right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But anyway, so we drank all that beer, so we didn't bring that to share.
That's all right. Way
And
to rub it
then
in, but that's cool.
We ended up in Michigan, and in Michigan, we went to all kinds of places. The beers that we have packed with us today are not from breweries we went to, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of rude. That's kind
That's
of rude.
fine.
Well, I mean, I have some at my house. I didn't get the memo.
That's okay. I didn't communicate well. That's blame Joe.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
look you're
because-
giving me right now. Get out of here.
Because it's absolutely true that I had beers from the places we went to.
Sure.
We definitely have our favorite breweries from Michigan.
Oh yeah.
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 Cool.
Yeah. And so, hey, let's pick one to drink now,
Yeah.
though, because I'm thirsty.
Yeah,
How
pick
about
one.
just a basic
Michigan
Pilsner?
Pils? Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So Founders is a brewery that you can find in Texas. So this
Yeah,
beer
they
is
do-
in down
like
here.
The all-day
breakfast-
IPA?
The breakfast.
Yeah.
The breakfast
They
stout.
have a breakfast stout
That's
that's
very
It's got like an
popular.
old man on the front of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. And it's a beer that you'll find at a lot of craft bars down in the Metroplex. People are really into their breakfast stout.
Yeah. So I never like Founders. I didn't even realize they were out of Michigan.
No, I had no
Right?
idea.
I always thought they were out of California because they were so well represented around the U.S. And,
They
you
used to
know,
assume, right? Yeah.
I
yeah,
did.
feel
I
ya.
just absolutely made that assumption. Do you want a little more? Let's kill this guy.
Yeah, you might as well.
Delicious.
It's just 3 of us. Come on.
And so we were kind of excited about that, and we've also decided we're going to go back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Trip
Oh,
to
yeah.
Michigan next August.
Oh, it's in Grand
Absolutely.
Rapids. Oh, cool.
Yeah. And everybody said, on your next trip, you just have to go drink the beers north of town. So this trip, our
We
house was
stayed
here,
south
and
of
we
the
drank south of
lake.
where we were
Yeah.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And next trip, we'll just drink north.
North. Yeah.
Because why
Sweet.
not? Yeah, because we can do that.
Yeah.
So this is just a Pilsner, it says? What is
It is. It's a Michigan-style Pils.
Oh, Michigan Pilsner. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
yeah.
that
So,
means.
Yeah. Special, I'm sure. It's pretty.
It's very pretty.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's drinkable beer.
So I know both of you guys don't do this normally,
Yeah.
but because you're on the show, we rate the beers.
On a scale
Scale of 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
In
Oh.
quarter increments because we do it on Untappd.
Okay.
That's
See.
a lot of pressure.
It is.
Are you going to give me a comparison beer?
No, so what I always do, this is the way that I rate beers. This is
Okay.
different than a lot of the friends that we know.
Okay.
But I rate beers on how much do I enjoy it in the moment. And that's what I rate it
Oh.
on. I don't rate it on like, oh, how good is this compared to the next Pilsner? How good is this to style? Nah.
So I'm
Throw all that shit out the window and I go, how much do I enjoy this?
I would be terrible at Untappd because I'm very sentimental when I'm just a very sentimental. I would be like, oh, I was having it with my friends in this lovely place. It's a 5. Like that's me. Like
Sure.
Yeah.
I
This is
got
how we get
my buddy
grade
Brian does
inflation.
that
That
same
is
thing.
me.
Great inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have Untappd. But
My buddy Brian does the same thing. If the environment's great, he gets some extra points. Like,
Oh, that's
So,
so nice.
I get
Yeah.
it. Like, it's fine. I'm okay with that.
I think this is a solid 4 1/4 to me.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
I was gonna give it a 5, so a 4
I was
and a half
gonna
is
give
fine.
it a 4.
I'm sorry, not a 5, a 4. I'm sorry. I was gonna give it a 4.
Yeah.
Only because I've had a Pilsner that was a little hoppier.
Yeah, I do like it when it has a little bit extra
just a
hops.
little-
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they're calling it a Czech Pilsner on Untappd, by the way.
Oh.
It should
That
be even
means anything to
happier
you.
than that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna go with the higher score and do it a 4 1/4.
Yeah, sounds great.
So that sounds fine. But yeah, I was gonna give it a 4, so 4 1/4 is fine.
well, you can give a 4. There was 2 votes for 4.
We can do that
Yeah,
too.
I'm-
But
I'm
I like to
pretty
be
comfortable
part. I
with
like to
that.
like give
Neutral,
them.
yeah.
I like to give them
Like
props and go,
average.
hey, you got the
Yeah.
highest one, so we give them the higher score.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, am I going to write home about it? I'm not. Am I going to drink it happily? I am.
Sure.
I will probably
yeah.
forget this beer. That's the thing. I will not
yeah.
remember it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
That's me. I'm very bad. Like we drink so much.
We drink a
We
lot
drink
of
so many
beer.
different beers from different breweries.
It's hard to
like,
remember
do I
them.
remember this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, and this is the thing that when I used to rate beers I used to say, oh, this beer's good, but it doesn't blow my hair back.
Yeah. Oh.
And
nice,
I would
yeah.
go, oh, and so it's right in the middle. I'll give it a 2.5.
Oh.
That's the reaction that I got from a lot of people when I started
Can you
saying that.
score less than 1?
No, I think it goes down
Because-
to 0.25.
Well, then that means that the halfway mark is
Oh, no, you
3.
can give it a no rating or a 0.25.
Oh, okay. So you can get to 0. Okay,
Or you can do a
all
no
right.
rating. You're just not rating it at all.
Well, yeah. But
That doesn't
I was
mean
just trying
you're
to do the
scoring
math.
it,
I
right?
was just, yeah.
If you're
'cause I don't
scoring
use
it, it's a
Untappd.
0.25. But I'm like, I always just went right in the middle of some beer. Then I go, this beer's good. It's not
Yeah.
great. It's not bad. It doesn't blow my
Yeah.
hair back. I'm giving it a 2.5. And
look,
people
the
used to say I
overall
was,
ratings are not great. Because
A
it's just
3.6?
Yeah, it's just only 105. That blows my mind. All
which
right.
makes me, it doesn't seem like it's naturally distributed then.
Yeah, right?
Nationally, that's the best way to say it.
No, I bet if we were to look at the Untappd for their breakfast stout,
Oh
we
my
would
gosh,
find
yeah.
so many more.
I'm sure that in that all-day IPA, or they have like an all-day,
Oh, yeah, the things that people, that they just
Something,
send
too.
everywhere.
yeah, like these KBS are go wild because
It's kind of
they're-
like Jeremy's Sasquatch, right?
Right.
It's well represented around the United
correct.
States.
Hey, and their Founders Oktoberfest is good. I had that last year,
Oh, nice.
so we'll have to see if we can find it because we need to.
Yeah, because we are going to do Oktoberfest tastings.
Right. So we need to stock up on Oktoberfests, which is always fun. Always fun. But I have some questions. So you guys went to Europe as well. What was the whole reason why you guys decided to go to Europe? And specifically this.
Oh, it was like twofold.
Two
right?
things.
It's
but
two
and
things.
specifically the places you guys went.
Yeah.
Was
Oh,
was
yeah.
it because of birds?
No.
I know that's a big thing. Birding's a big
no,
thing.
not
It
really.
wasn't just about the birds. So there was 2 big goals on this grand adventure. So we were gone for almost 3 weeks. One goal for me was to go to the Spey River and drink whiskey from the Spey River region of Scotland. And so Scotland has at least 5 regions of Scotch, as we would call in the U.S., but it's just whiskey there, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to them it's just whiskey. Why
Sure.
the fuck would you call it? Yeah. But my favorite whiskey comes from the Spey region. And so I had been doing some research and I had found this cool hotel. And there was a company I used a few years ago where they hauled your luggage from hotel to hotel and then you hiked from day to day to places.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
So we
That's the
were
best way to
looking at
do
it.
it.
We were looking at it, and what I realized was we can do this without paying somebody. And so we picked this centrally located hotel, and each day we hiked out to distilleries,
Oh, cool.
and we hiked
We
back.
just came back to.
Oh, because it was
We
in the
just stayed at
center, so you just
we spoke wheeled out.
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And so I
like
don't
that idea.
know how many whiskeys we drank, but it was an absurd number. But we definitely went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 distilleries and sat down inside and drank whiskeys.
Yeah.
And it was all from, and I'm going to kill how we say this, but Craigellachie is the village.
Oh yeah, because I heard you guys talk about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And there's a hotel there that we stayed at, and that was
Yeah.
our spoke wheel start point. And then there was trails
Yep.
that
It was on
like
this-
like
this-
straight
they had-
down from the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. So we like I remember the first day we walked to Aberlour. We got to see Aberlour, came back. I don't think we did anything else. And then
yeah.
the next day was our big hiking day, and we got to Glenfiddich
And Balvenie.
and Balvenie. We walked by
which is my
Balvenie, got
favorite,
and tried
yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
there.
Oh, so good. So
and then
good.
we went to Glen Grant.
Glen Grant. Yep.
Um,
And then there was other distilleries in that town, but you couldn't go sit inside all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to, but also just being at our
Walk by them.
hotel,
Yeah.
they had like a smorgasbord. Like it was insane. Like the amount of whiskey in just, it was just insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like
Yeah.
by region.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, I'm here, but I want to try like an Islay, I want to try, something else. Like we had all the options.
You're going
All
above
the
my head
options.
right now when it comes
Yeah.
to
It
whiskeys.
was,
I don't
Joe,
know.
yeah.
we drank so much whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably tried 10 to 20 whiskeys every day when we were there.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we didn't get
No.
drunk.
And just
because we just tasted and we were
Full
sharing drams
disclosure,
with each
it was
other.
not just the two of
That's
us.
what I was
It was
gonna
we
ask.
were with other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
There was four whiskey drinkers. Yeah.
4 solid whiskey
Yeah.
drinkers.
So we'd get like a
flight.
and
And
then
we'd all get different
things,
whiskeys.
and that's how you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise,
And,
it
and
would-
when they give you a flight, is it? It's not a
dram.
shot.
No,
It's
it-
25
it's
milliliters
tiny.
is their drink.
But it's also enough to be like.
What's an American shot? What is that?
I thought it was an ounce and a quarter, ounce and a half,
That's why I'm asking.
which doesn't even translate to milliliters to me. So you figure that out. Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
volume.
Volume. That's the right way to say it.
Yeah, American shot size versus UK. Yeah, so the UK definitely sits on the 25 mils. And so if they ask you if you want a double, you always say yes because a double's 50.
And it was also very, very inexpensive.
1.5 ounces or 44 milliliters.
You're
Yeah,
right.
so
Yeah.
see, a US shot is almost the same as a double in the UK.
Yeah, because you said it's 50 over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a double is a 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you just get used to, if you order in single pours, 25 mils lets you taste so many things.
And you're getting 25 mils every time that you do
yeah.
each pour. when
And
you
so
do
a flight might have 4, might have 5, might have 3 on the small end. And, you know, if there's 4 of us all ordering
We just all
a
just
Yeah, then
flight,
you're all sharing.
then we're
so-
all trying, and at a minimum, we're testing 12 whiskeys in one night.
Right.
And on a maximum, we're getting 20.
Right, but you're doing 2 shots in the U.S. standards, I guess, when
Well,
you're
we-
done?
When
in
it's
a
all
sitting?
said and done, yeah. So a
In, like,
flight
one
of
sitting?
4 would
Yeah.
be 2 U.S. shots.
Right.
Yeah. And because we're all sharing, that's really all we're ending up with, too.
Right.
So it's a really great way to taste all the whiskeys
Sure.
and never get intoxicated.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't.
yeah,
I don't know.
and
I
we-
feel like I'd be hammered, but I don't know.
No, honestly, like I
Smart
was
choices.
no,
Sure,
so
I
we,
know.
again, we
Yeah.
were walking everywhere, and it also
Yeah.
it wasn't like it
Oh,
was,
yeah. So you're saying overhydrated
like, we walked-
because you're hiking
Yeah.
as well. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
We had to
Like, we
walk
walked
5 miles to get
5
to like
miles
get
one
Glenfiddich.
way, 6
That is
miles.
awesome.
Yeah. And then you earn your whiskey, and you're like, "Pfft,
That is awesome.
I can drink all the whiskey because I earned it.
But you also know that
Yeah.
there's no Uber, so you have to like walk back home. So you
Right.
can't be like,
Yeah, you can't
know,
be a fool.
You just have to walk back.
I love that you had
Yeah.
to hike in 5
It
miles
was
to
a
get
choice.
there.
Yeah, it
And
was
then
a
the
choice,
short
yeah.
one, like Abalor, was only
30
a
minutes.
mile.
Yeah, it was a
a
mile,
mile
yeah.
walk, right? And
That's
so
awesome.
the closest ones were 1 mile away. The furthest away was 5.5. I felt like it was closer to, who cares? Between
Right.
5 and 6 miles to
Sure.
get to Balvenie. And we just had a blast.
Yeah.
But our best place was a whiskey I never thought to drink in the U.S. It was called Glen Grant.
Okay.
And
We did not hike there because we
Oh.
tried. No, we tried to.
oh, the walking
tried
day.
to-
It rained on us. We got lost. The trail ended. It
We
was
couldn't cross the river. because
fishermen told us
there's
to turn around, girls. You're
there's
never
no
gonna
bridge.
find it.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, it's
and then
funny.
they left the fishing site and didn't even offer us a ride home.
They just drove past us.
They
Like,
just
waved,
drove past
like,
us and waved.
"Bye." Yeah.
We're like, oh.
and it was raining.
Yeah.
Oh
but it
my
wasn't like
gosh.
bad rain.
Yeah.
like
Right.
like it was not.
Shout out to Oliver. We know he didn't get a ride because he was with us.
Uh,
If it was just us girls, the traveling four posse, they would have offered us a ride.
Sure.
But if you got a dude with you,
like
know,
that dude could take care of him.
yeah, they're like, you're never getting a ride from
That's
us.
funny.
Like, who knows? We
Yeah,
might
so,
offend
so we
him.
realized, okay, let's regroup. We went back to
Oh,
the
I see
hotel.
what you're saying. That's not what I was getting at at all.
We all had a beer, and then like we'll just take the bus and go into town and go to Glen Grant, and we
Yeah.
oh that was fun. That was
yeah,
a
they
fun
had
day.
gardens.
Yeah,
They took a $5 admittance fee to see the gardens, and then you got to drink 2 tastings
For
after
free.
the gardens
Yeah.
for free.
Oh, cool.
So they couldn't sell the whiskey to us.
Oh, one
they
of those
sold
things. I
admittance
got you.
to the gardens.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
That's nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
for
I've seen
£5,
that.
like
So-
that was like yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, the
worth
gardens
it.
were gorgeous. Like,
Oh.
yeah, I want this walk.
As much as I'm not a whiskey drinker, this sounds
Oh, sorry,
like a
yeah.
really fun thing to do, though.
was,
to
yeah.
hike into places, and
Yeah.
because I love to hike. I
Yeah.
like backpacking
Yeah.
and all that fun
Yeah,
stuff. So.
it was amazing. And that's what started the plan. And then
My sister was turning 50 that year, and it was like
Oh, I didn't know it was her birthday.
Yeah,
Ooh, sweet.
Yeah, so we were like, I was like, I'm gonna have to be in London on May 24th. And Renee's like, that's perfect. We'll just like
We'll
start
just
there.
plan something,
We'll
yeah.
just start in
Make it work.
London. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So we made it work, and it was
Yeah.
wonderful because we started with a 50th birthday party, and got to see a whole bunch of family, and that's always a lot of fun to spend time with family.
Being in the big city.
And we were in London for 5 days, and we saw parts of London that her sister, who's lived there for
Had
over a
never
decade, has never seen.
yeah.
So
Sure.
we explored a lot of stuff that nobody else has explored that lived there in our friend circle.
Yeah,
And we drank lots of beers, tried so many beers.
of course.
And we also chased down the birds of London.
Yep.
So we did that.
Found some birds
Of
there,
course, yeah. Found some special birds. We met some birders and just bullshitted with people here and there along the way. Yeah, it was pretty great.
It was.
So your
yeah.
sister's been there for over a decade. Do you go visit her every year, or how often do you go over there to
Gosh,
visit?
the last time I was in London was in maybe 20. 2018. So it's been
It's
a while.
been a while.
Yeah, it was
And it seems
way
like
before COVID.
your
Yep.
experience this time was not quite as good as it has been
So
in the
I
past,
realized
or?
London is dirty. So
Okay.
it is. So like I've been to London so many times, and I've only stayed in London. I've never done anything outside of the UK. Well, outside of the UK or
Sure.
seeing how
So
beautiful
you've
it
always
is.
been in like London
yeah, because
proper.
that's where my family is.
Sure.
So like we went to Wales.
Oh, yes.
That was another adventure story, and then we obviously were in Scotland, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and seeing all these different cities. Like, so we were in
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like the
we
comparison.
were in Inverness,
you're like,
we were in
dang,
like Aberdeen,
yeah.
and it's
And
like,
we were
oh
in
my gosh,
London, right?
Sure.
And just seeing the differences, and I was like, oh yeah. If I lived in the UK, I would not choose to live in London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
But it was
That's
fun
unfortunate.
because we could walk to pubs.
Yeah, it was
Every
it's-
day. There was plenty
it's
of
not-
choices.
It's not
I feel the same
terrible.
way.
It's just not like I guess I'm older, and like, the whole like magic of London is gone, lost on me now because it's like okay, I don't need this anymore.
Sure.
I quality of life is more important than where I'm living.
I think
if
that's
that makes
what I
sense.
just experienced when I went to Austin just this
Oh,
last
nice.
weekend, and I was
Yeah.
like, it was fun, but like, man, it's dirty and kind of disgusting in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, it's fun for a couple of days.
But it's exhausting.
It can be, yeah.
Especially when it's that densely packed,
Sure.
right? So we went to the touristy places for one day
One
only.
day, yeah.
And you're like, oh man, it's just
Yeah.
packed.
The point is like
It's just
the
packed.
museums where like
Yeah.
you're bumping like at some point we're like walking downstairs and there's like people just not minding and being
Yeah.
like
Oh right.
good humans, like people behind them, and like when you're arguing, people are arguing in the tube, like that's just not fun.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's a different culture. I've understood in Asian cultures, like they don't have a sense of like personal body space.
Well,
So I didn't know if that's a different
I
culture.
think they
in
don't
the UK.
have the sense that you need extra space of personal space, right?
Yeah, the personal space like goes away.
Like there's
in
an
other countries.
acceptance that we have to all fit in this commuter train, so let's just let it go and get on the commuter train.
Sure.
Yeah. It's definitely the way it is on the tube. Like you ride closer on the tube.
Sure.
I was never uncomfortable. I've been to a lot of countries and done a lot of public transportation, and I never felt uncomfortable in London.
I didn't, and it was never. It was more like the lady that was arguing that you missed.
Yeah, but occasionally we meet people that are
happens.
growly.
It's just it
and-
was.
yeah.
That's what happens when you
In
have
my
a lot
mind,
of people.
like London. In my mind, that was the thing. I'd live in London. I remember telling our friend Felix, I was like, "Oh my god, I'd move to London in a heartbeat." Now it's like, no,
No thanks.
I would move
Okay.
to Aberdeen in
Yeah.
a heartbeat. Like,
Yeah,
no.
talk about a hidden gem.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me about
Oh.
it.
So
Where is this?
So we traveled. So we went out to a village in Wales. We went up to Inverness, which is pretty popular with American tourists. We went to the Spey River and we did the whiskey. And after that, we went to Aberdeen. And I had.
Why did we go to Aberdeen? Like,
I
we
selected
just, like,
it.
picked
Well,
it
the
just,
last time I went to Scotland, I had
Oh, it's
gone.
in Scotland. Okay.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I
So the
asked.
last time I went to Scotland, I went to Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And I knew I didn't want to do either one again.
Okay.
So then I was just pulling the largest cities,
Sure.
kind of in Scotland, to feel the whole country. I fell in love with Scotland 7 years ago when I went. And so this trip, I just wanted to explore more of the country. And we get to Aberdeen, and everywhere we went before we went, people would be like,
Why are you going to Aberdeen?
there?"
And it's on the coast, right? So it's on the coast.
So much beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beach for days. Like that picture that just showed was right next to where our apartment was, Joe. We walked past it every day.
Oh, one of these.
That one, back.
Oh, this one here.
That.
Oh,
We walked
cool.
past that every single day. That's
that's
kind
cool.
of crazy.
That's like a.
This seems like the
that's
capital or
town.
like the. I don't know.
It's just it's called the
the,
Granite
center of the
City.
city.
It's
Yeah.
called the Granite.
It's very
City,
gray.
and because
very
all
gray.
the stone came from like the same set of rock quarries, I guess.
Oh, cool.
And so they got the same color in general. Thus its name. Aberdeen was one of the first international ports ever built in all of the UK for sure. So
Yeah.
that was a really big deal.
Yeah.
And so it's famous for that. The people that were poo-poo in Aberdeen were people that were judging it for being an oil town.
Yeah.
But I got to say, Houston, Texas has some amazing things about it, and it's an oil town too. And sometimes we should let go of our judgment and just go experience a city and see what it's like,
Sure.
right? Because you could have a lot of fun. And while we were there, we had the best brewery in
Yes.
our entire excursion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah.
So that's where Fierce Brewing was. Fierce.
So, it's all European. So, like, I know that, like, there's different distinctions between like British styles and like German styles. Like, there's not really a Scottish style. You could do a Scottish.
Oh, for beer?
Yeah, for beer. So like, is it a lot of British styles that you get over there? What do you get? Do you get American styles at all?
No.
I know. I'm sure you can find IPAs, but that's not
well,
like.
Brewdog does like American influenced beer.
Oh,
Brewdog
Brewdog is from Scotland.
Yes,
That's
they
right.
are. And they were in the same town, so we were able to go to Brewdog as well. So they have lots of places in Aberdeen to go to.
Cool.
Which was pretty cool. I will say, I really felt like the Scottish beer felt like British beer.
There wasn't
but
a
maybe
huge
a little
difference.
more carbonation. A lot of British beer is much less carbonated than our beer. Did you notice that? Yeah. And so we did a lot of hand pulls in London.
Oh, I love that.
They were
by principle, I was like, I can't have this at home. I'm gonna do it like I need the hand pull.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time.
Everything get out of a hand pull.
Every time. If it's there, I'm doing it. Yeah.
But in Scotland, we saw fewer hand
pulls. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the number of hand pulls went down when we got to Scotland. So I guess there are some small differences, which also meant then the carbonation, I think, was closer to U.S. carbonation. Okay. Maybe that's why I might have enjoyed it a little better.
I was also going to say the flowers outside the pubs were not there.
Oh, yeah. The best part about London is every bar had yellow.
They have flowers
almost always yellow flowers, but flowers
pubs.
always
Oh,
on the
yeah.
outside. And then you knew it was a bar.
Yeah.
You just knew. And
I
there
mean,
would be beer.
That's just how it is.
It sounds like what I see as like stereotypical. Like the wooden door with a small window that's got a cage
with
over
like
it.
little like flowers
And then
hanging.
there's flower baskets underneath the windows that are in front of it.
Yeah.
And also like
like vines or something.
That's just how it is.
I'm
It
like,
is everywhere.
okay.
Yeah. And Renee's like,
Very
how do you
stereotypical.
know
That's
it's a
great.
pub? I was like, look at the flowers. She's like, oh, you're right.
And then we were really sad, though, because when we left London,
It
the
wasn't
rule
there
did not.
anymore. No.
No.
Okay.
So in Wales,
Nope.
there were not flowers. And in Scotland,
Scotland,
the
no, I
rule
don't-
was not flowers. Occasionally, we would find a British pub that did have flowers in Scotland.
Now, was that a thing that you noticed throughout like your travels, like the city, or was it just specific to like pubs? You didn't see flowers, or
So
like, was it like it's cobblestone
I've always
everywhere?
going to London all the time. I've always equated like flowers outside as a pub.
Okay.
And so again, it was the first time I was like outside of London
Sure.
and enjoying the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Realizing, so the difference is it was new to both of us. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
Yeah.
So one other thing. So I watched this movie once, and I should finish the whole thing, but I haven't seen all of it. It's called. It's about bird watching.
Is it Notting Hill?
The something
Is it
year-
Notting Hill?
No, it's the big
It's the
year.
big year.
The big year. So one thing that they do is they
Like
do go
everyone
visit.
says about.
Well, because they do go specifically to the UK to look at this one bird
No,
in
they
this
don't.
person's
You
backyard.
can't. No.
Well, what?
No.
Do you not know what I'm talking about? They're
I
looking
do.
at some like hummingbird
but
in someone's
the big
backyard.
year, you cannot go to the UK because a big year only happens in the the full 50 states of the U.S.
Oh.
And Canada. That's all that's allowed.
So the movie was inaccurate.
No, the movie, it wasn't the UK. It was someplace like rando.
I swear that lady had.
But
like
it was somebody's backyard. It absolutely was, but it was in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
swear
it was
that
in the
lady
New
had like
England
an
or
accent.
some shit. She probably did. I mean, I do.
So, what I'm getting at is that they went there specifically for this bird because it's the only
they
place
did.
that you can really see it.
Well, it's because it was like, it was there and it shouldn't have been there.
So, like,
which made
when
it
y'all
special.
went to Europe, where you're like, hey, we got to look out for these in particular species
There was
because
a
we
bird-
know these are the only places that
There
we
was
can see 'em.
one bird that we were looking for that kind of drove us to like Wales.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were on a puffin mission.
Oh, that's right. I heard you got like a
We were
detour
trying
because
to
of it.
find the Atlantic puffin, and there are other species of puffins that you can find in Canada, but they're on the east coast of Canada and the U.S. It would be the Atlantic puffin, but there's Pacific puffins. So
We didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what they look like. I haven't gone
Sure.
to look for them yet. But this whole thing was called our Puffin Adventures. So, look at his sexy little.
Like he had a
he's
thing.
got like a little tuffin on
Yeah,
top of his head,
yeah,
looking
like
all
he had
handsome
hair.
and such. Yeah.
I love how excited you guys get about
Yeah.
birds.
With that picture,
This is
different.
hilarious.
look at that!
Look.
Oh, he's a handsome.
Oh, so
Oh,
we
that's
did
a
not see-
sexy
we did
ass
not see
bird.
that.
But no, that's the Pacific puffin. That's
Yeah.
the whole point.
funny,
all right,
so-
all right. But get back to the Atlantic puffin.
Sorry.
Because that's who we went after.
Yeah.
And he's handsome. Don't get me wrong. He is a very handsome bird. Oh, look at him! Look at that cute little beak.
Adorable.
He holds little fishes. So the Atlantic puffin lives in the ocean most of the year, and they seldom go to shore. They only go to shore to breed and raise their young.
Oh, okay.
And so there's only 2 months a year where you can see an Atlantic puffin on land.
They just live out on the water. Okay.
And then they live in the ocean. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they float around and they look like little footballs floating on the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is why we went to Wales for this magical puffin adventure to Skomer Island. I did all this research to take us
Because
to
this
Skomer
island, literally the island, like
where the
they
puffins
live
all live
on this island,
and
you
it
can,
said
like,
if you like walk the
on this
trail,
island, puffins are like just there.
just walk over your
They'll walk over your
feet.
feet.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Oh,
I was
okay.
so excited. Like, how close will the puffin get? We get out to the boat launch site, and we're pulling in, and our taxi driver drops us off, and he's like, I don't know that
The water's
water's
choppy.
It's pretty choppy out there, like whatever they say. And then we meet some people that are coming off the trail because there's a massive trail system that runs through Wales, and so you run across people that are like through hiking.
Oh, I gotcha.
And he's
Okay.
like, "Oh, where are you going?" And we're like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Skomer
boat, yeah.
Island." He looks up and he goes, "Okay."
It's very choppy.
He's like,
He
Good
didn't
try.
believe us at all. He
Yeah.
did not believe us at all.
Yeah.
So we get out there and we just wait and we pace and we wait.
And there's no boat. But
And
we're
about
like,
an hour
there-
later, we realize, we don't get to go.
There's
Like
no
they've
boat.
canceled our trip and they didn't tell us.
Oh, so cause obviously it's an island, so a boat has to come pick you up. I don't know why I
Oh,
was
Joe,
lost
we
there for
were
a second.
sad.
We were very sad.
I'm sure.
Oh my gosh.
You would have
So
think
we-
that you would have got a phone call or something. Come on, guys.
We thought we
were supposed
would.
to get an email or something
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
day before. Nothing.
Like electronics work. It's not
Sure.
that hard to say not happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Sure.
But-
we called the taxi driver, and he's like 45 minutes away. So we walked
We
up a
hiked
hill
up to the top of this
and got to see a
overlook.
beautiful
it's
view of the
gorgeous,
ocean.
Like,
and-
was the weather halfway decent, or was it like
it was very
raining or
windy.
something?
No,
It was
wasn't
just
rainy.
windy.
It was windy.
It was warm. While we were there, it was like 60 degrees. It was
just
one of the
very-
warmest days we
It
had.
was very windy, but
But it was
not
windy.
like
okay.
And I
rainy
guess
or
when it's
anything.
that windy, little boats can't make it to magical Skomer Island, which is also rock surrounded. It's a rock surrounded island, and
Yeah.
so I guess the boats might just crash. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sure
who
it's
the
a
hell knows?
it's a safety issue, but sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. They're probably more worried that people would be puking all over their ship, on a windy day too.
I mean, I can
because it
understand
wasn't
that.
a big boat.
I
Like the
would've done
boat
that.
only held like 12
I did send an
people.
email the day before. I was
Yeah.
like, "Can we bring beer?" No, you can't bring
They
beer.
were very not happy
No
with
beer.
us asking about the beer. Yeah.
I did ask.
Nice.
So we were all pretty sad. We took a bunch of sad photos where we pouted about the no puffins.
Yeah.
And we got to Scotland and we thought, well, maybe I can find somebody who will take us to look for puffins in Scotland because it's possible.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I randomly sent an email to this website that was deep in my search to a man. I was like, hey, I know it's short notice, but we're going to be in Aberdeen in 3 days. And I see that you take people to go find puffins out in the countryside outside of Aberdeen. If you have any availability on these days, we'll be there.
Sure.
He sent me an email back the next day. And he's like, well, I'm only free on this day. And it was the day we were flying
Our
back
last
to
day,
London.
yeah.
So
Oh,
our
okay.
very last day in our grand UK adventure, he takes us out to a cliff.
Literally
It
a
is-
cliff.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
very scary.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah,
It
like
was
sheer
really scary.
drop-offs.
Yeah.
Rumor has it there was like 10,000 birds everywhere. But of those 10,000 birds, there were 6 puffins.
No, there were
8
there
puffins.
were a ton of birds. I'm like, oh, there's birds. Okay,
like
there's
many
birds.
different species of birds.
Like,
It
You're
was
looking
the
down
first
this
for
cliff
all of
and there's
us.
all
Yeah.
these birds that live on the cliff face,
But
and
only
we're
for
like,
reproduction.
but we have to like keep
Yeah.
walking to find where the puffins live, and he
Yeah.
walks. He takes us like. In my mind, like, this guy's gonna kill me, whatever. But it was scary.
Sure.
So we get there, and finally, like, I remember, like, Renee and I were like, because they're tiny. They're little.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
really
small,
little.
So small.
Oh,
So
and
tiny.
they are
Person.
so
And they were adorable.
cute.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
look
and they
at
look
that.
just like that. So the
With their
males and females
faces.
look the same. They both have that beautiful beak.
Yeah.
And they hop. And so when they hop from rock to rock.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
Oh my God, it's so damn cute. And so they hopped for Anna and I, and so we got to see some funny little puffin hops. Holy shit.
initially they were like 2, and then more came out.
Oh my God.
And it was like,
and
oh
they
my
peek out of their little
God.
cubbies
Yeah.
because they have to have soil, but they also like cover from the wind. And so they are only in a specific places, which is why we had to go to the scary zone because you had to
Oh,
find
yeah.
rock cliffs that also keep grass growing and dirt.
Yeah.
I know,
Okay.
it's like a double thing.
That's what I'm
and there
thinking,
was all
like,
these
what?
other birds. There was like 10,000
There was
birds
all
on this other
kinds of-
side.
yeah.
And they're all like, it's rocks, it's fine, let's make babies. But the puvans are like, no way. I must have grass. Very serious about it. Very
That's funny.
serious. Yeah.
So did you check off other birds that you saw there,
Oh, yeah.
or you're
Gosh,
like,
yes.
my mind
Yeah.
is on these puffins,
Oh, yeah.
fuck everybody
Like,
else?
that
Yeah.
whole
I think I
trip,
got like
that whole-
60
our whole-
birds.
The whole last day was like there was a time when I didn't get out of the car because I was
Yeah.
cold. But
Oh
like,
my God.
There
Yeah.
was so many birds that we.
His name was David Leslie, right? Is that right? Does that seem right?
His first name was David for sure.
For sure. All our birder guides were named Dave or
David.
David.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like in
It was
London,
just
the guy
random. It was just
David
totally
also,
rampant. Yeah, it was totally random.
So when you're doing this, I mean, obviously you guys know a lot more about birds than I do, but like I'm sure you come across a species or something where you're like, I'm not familiar with it. Do you just take a photo and like I'll figure this out when I get home?
No.
You
And
just, I mean, I'm sure you
If
have a
we
list
don't
of
know
stuff
the
you're-
bird, we let it go. And
Oh,
we just say,
really?
damn, that sucked. I don't know what that bird was. So if you
But
got
I'm
a
sure
bird
you have a
guide,
list of
they
something that
know.
you mark
Oh,
them off,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got an app that we use, and it's
To
called
identify bird.
Merlin Bird ID.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it'll show us pictures and range and
Also,
give
we'll
us an
track
idea of
sound.
what we can
so like
expect.
sometimes we'll be walking and Renee turns it on and she's hearing birds and she's like, okay, it's saying that's a
We
blah,
can
blah, or
record a
whatever,
sound.
Oh,
and
okay.
then look for, show me what it looks like, tell me the color, and then
Yeah.
we'll look for it, like because I'm like very much like,
And it's easier to bird with friends. So once we started traveling as a 4-pack, like Heidi and Anna are really good at seeing leaves move randomly that shouldn't move, and those are almost
Okay.
always birds.
Sure.
Right? And then Andrea is really good at just knowing that something has happened. Like she'll hear a sound, but our friend Andrea can only hear out of one ear.
Oh, that's right.
And so
Yeah.
she can't localize the sound. So we often all work together to localize. And I'm just an average birder at best, but I'm very intent on checking birds off a list.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'd be doing too.
Yeah,
like,
because
come
I'm
on.
detail oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I want to make sure I identify it if at all possible. So I give a lot of statistics and odds and like, I think there's a really good chance this is our bird. I think it's a good chance.
Sure.
But if we don't all agree, we often just let it go. We just let it go.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes you got to.
No, I get that, but a part of me wants to go like, "Hey, we saw it." Just because we can't identify it doesn't mean we
Well,
can't check it off.
no, because like remember in Uganda we're walking like in
Yeah.
Ginger, we were walking back to the place and we saw the cranes, but we're
Yeah,
like we could
yeah.
not tell.
We were
because the
most
sun
like-
was too. It was, but we're sure,
And it was
but
just the
not
two
really
of
sure.
us.
Didn't have binoculars.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't able to like say yes, it was.
And that's really hard, right? Because you know you saw it.
Yeah,
But then you're like, but I don't want to be a liar.
yeah,
Sure.
It's an honor system. I guess
But you don't
Anybody
afford,
could
and
be
you
a
don't
giant-
afford seeing
anybody
something
could
that
be a
wasn't
liar.
really there.
Yeah, like,
right? You have to
yeah.
be very sure that it's what it is.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, and like, this is again, I don't know, ain't shit. So like, do you take photos of the birds?
Andrea
most of
does.
the time,
I think
or-
Andrea does.
Andrea does. She
Yeah.
she does the photography,
Yeah.
but the rest of us just use binoculars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and they don't have like binoculars that you can take snapshots on.
Oh, they do.
Okay, I was wondering. I'm
I
like-
just don't have that kind of money.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they're not cheap, but
Yeah, binoculars can cost like $10,000.
I was gonna say, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have expensive ones for me now, and they were more than $400.
Yeah, forget about it.
But my first pair were $86.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Like you got your starter binoculars,
$50 pair, and I'm good
and
to
then
go.
you got to figure out like, am I going to be a birder? I don't know. And then one day you're like, holy shit, I'm a birder.
Yeah, let's go spend some money on
yeah,
it.
now let's go plan our life around birding, hiking, and drinking, and that's what I do.
Literally, like we
I
always,
plan
yeah.
all trips around
hike,
3
bird,
concepts:
bird,
Drink.
hike,
bird and hike.
and then the drinking is like at the end. Then
Yeah,
like talk about.
yeah.
Oh, we saw this.
So
bird. Yeah.
you earn your beers every day.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next beer.
We appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Dudes and Brews. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever platform you're on. We're on there. We have a YouTube channel, Dudes and Brews. We would love if you would subscribe there as well. If you are subscribed and you want to help us out just a little more, unsubscribe and resubscribe again. It sounds funny and stupid and kind of obnoxious, all of the subscribing and resubscribing and stuff, but it helps in these little algorithms games for like climbing the charts, because again, we are organic and we are where we are because of you guys.
Yeah, we really do appreciate your support. Shout us out. We really do love it when you guys interact with us, when you add us, mention us, put us on your stories, tag us, all that fun stuff, all the stuff the kids are doing. We like grabbing that stuff and we put it up for you guys. So we appreciate you so much. Keep having fun, drinking them brews, hanging with them dudes. Tune in next week for another episode of Dudes and Brews.